Hello, YouTube. I just want to say that I am, after watching half of the first episode of The Wheel of Time, I am thoroughly disappointed. There were tons of little things like the houses in Emmons Field had wood shingles instead of thatch. Um, the inn just didn't look quite right. Even the makeup of the villagers wasn't quite right. I don't mean like make. I mean like genetic makeup. Like in the book, Emmons Field and the whole Two Rivers is basically a backwater. It's basically like rural Alabama or whatever. The people there aren't exactly xenophobic, but they live so completely far out of the way that they never really see any foreigners. And they've been cemented in that location for so many hundreds of years that any kind of racial diversity that might have existed when the settlement was established would have just dissolved, basically. The community would have been integrated. Because, to the point where you just wouldn't be able to tell. There wouldn't be anyone who was noticeably black or white or Asian or anything. It would have just been a bunch of maroon people, and it was in a European climate, so they'd be very pale maroon people, because and I don't like the way they changed the characters either. Because in this, like in the first chapter, the first book, in The Wheel of Time, The Eye of the World, the boys are like 16 years old, and also like the culture is wrong too, like there's a like literally in the first episode of The Wheel of Time that just premiered today, uh I believe I skipped through the scene because I didn't want to see it. So I don't know if there's like an actual sex scene or if it just shows the people kissing and then the two people like covered in blankets, because I skipped to the part where they're in blankets because I thought the kissing was boring. Uh but they have it where Rand and Elaine, not Elaine, Egwene? Yeah, Rand and Egwene, uh, like literally have sex, and it's like that's not right at all. Because like in the book, the Two Rivers was literally such a conservative little backwater that like young people weren't even supposed to be kissing before they were married, and like that was like a scandalous thing, and it's like and Matrim Cawthon has a dysfunctional family life, where like his dad is always cheating on his mom, and his mom is a drunk, sort of pathetic piece of work, and his older sisters aren't in the. Did he have older sisters in the book, or did he just have sisters that were within a year of him? Well, like his sisters are much too young, because he had like teenage sisters that were within like a year of him, like a year older or a year younger than that. Um, well, and yeah. Anyways, and they would have been very much able to take care of themselves, but in the TV show, it's not like that. In the TV show, they're like, helpless little children that don't even understand that their mother's drunk. They're just like, oh, is she sick again? And I don't like that, and they made Perrin Ibarra much older, like he's already got a wife, and I don't like that because like these were like if it was like as an original thing I wouldn't have any problem, but it's not an original thing. They've taken a book series that I care deeply about, that I've been reading since I was 17 years old, and they changed it, and I don't appreciate it, and I don't appreciate the ways that they changed it, because like I realize some of it is pedantic, small details, like, oh, the shingles on the houses are wrong, but some of it's not. some of it is much more. I mean, even the time of year, like even the weather in the show is wrong, because in the first chapter, of The Eye of the world has been trapped in an unnaturally cold and long winter, so the spring holidays, Beltane, their version of Easter, is happening, when there's like 3 feet of snow outside. Because it's the middle of the bloody mountain winter. And because the Dark One's, curse is encroaching on the world. And I just don't like it. Insert Ren and Stimpy Mr. Horse meme here. No, sir, I don't like it, I just... Like, I realize some of it is pedantic, but some of the things that they change in the show are not small details. Some of it is not just the shape of the shingles on the roof. Some of it is, like, kind of important stuff, like... Well, like, even just the symbology, like, it's important that the Two Rivers is, like, an ethnically homogenous, even if it was, like, a black village, for it to be an ethnically homogenous village, so that way, when they travel to the wider world and the big cities, and they see all the different people, it has an impact. It doesn't matter so much that the Two Rivers is white, but it does matter that it's homogenous, because that way, when they travel into the more diverse world, it's noticeable and impactful. And it's important that the people of the Two Rivers have the stable... Well, they don't have dysfunctional families, because, the main characters need a reason to feel sort of remorse over their journey, and they need something to, sort of look back on, and it's like, because that was the thing in the book, And Perrin, shouldn't be married already, because, well, because he should only be, like, a young man, like his two friends, because they're all the same age. They're a bunch of, 16-year-old boys. Or 17-year-old boys, And it's just, and it's very important, that people in the Two Rivers don't have sex before marriage, because that way, when they travel the wider world, and they encounter different ways of doing things, it has an impact. But all of that was changed, and it grinds my gears in a serious way, More than the Aes Sedai looking wrong, more than the aesthetic of the Two Rivers being wrong. More than even the ethnic makeup of the villagers being wrong. More than the costumes being slightly wrong, like the ring that the Aes Sedai have is wrong. More than all of those things, there's like a deeper... There's more important aspects of the story that were changed, like the Two Rivers in the TV show is just not the Two Rivers of the book. And that just kind of seriously bothers me, And, I don't know. I just hope that some of you people can appreciate my criticism, And I hope that I'm not just yelling into the wind, It's good evening, good night, rest well, all you beautiful YouTube people.